name is Whitney Belkowitz, President and CEO of Intelligent Concrete.
I'm David Harris. I'm the Principal Engineer for Intelligent Concrete.
Q&A Wednesday! Concrete Tree Week. So today's tree is the cherry blossom tree.
Oh, nice.
I hate the cherry blossom.
Do you? I
Yeah,
think they're so
allergies.
pretty.
Kills
Lovely.
my allergies.
Really, I know the cottonwood is not that's not ideal for allergies, but the cherry blossom is such a pretty tree. So that is my tree for this video.
Yeah, when you're in Washington, D.C. for the Cherry Blossom Festival and those beautiful...
I've heard about that. I would
those
love to go
beautiful
see it
blossoms,
sometime.
Yeah.
You want to go to Washington, D.C., huh?
You just settle down there.
You want to go to Washington,
Hey,
D.C.?
grumpy Gus, just block it up there, bud.
Question came in specifically for our principal engineer,
Oh, dear.
David W. Harris, PhD, PE, FACE, FSEI.
Yeah.
ABCD.
Yeah, fellow structural engineers and fellow of ASCE. Right?
Okay,
You're
you ready
so
for this
cool.
question, David? And Whitney, this is part and play with you because you do this. You've done this test before. You've analyzed results. David, Dr. Harris, what do you have against the split tensile test?
The split tensile test is a very interesting test with regard to stress state. To review, it's a test where you take a typical cylinder, you put what is supposed to be...
Here, let me get you a 4x8, David.
You take a typical cylinder, you put what is supposed to be a theoretical line load on the cylinder, and the cylinder splits or breaks in the same direction as the load. So then the question is, what field cases can we think of that simulate this particular test?
Poking the bear with this question.
And of
Poking
course,
the bear.
we know that this test was a test that was discovered initially back in the when they were moving large churches over in Europe. They formed big concrete rollers to set the church on and roll it. And when they did that, the cylinders all split. And they said, this is a way to test the ability of concrete to carry loads. So that's part of the problem. So it's hard to find the field stress state that agrees with that stress state in the test. From the laboratory standpoint, from the business standpoint, what do you think about the test, Whitney?
I didn't used to, it's a bit of a cumbersome test and it doesn't seem to provide overly relevant data for most cases. Especially when you consider, so you've got compression, which is moving into a beam, tension, which is moving out.
Right.
And if you think about it, when we're doing compression, we're smushing. Why are we going to lay a cylinder on its side to try to give us some sort of tensile load? It would make more sense to yank it in the opposite direction.
That's right.
When you're doing any sort of physics classes, that's what you're evaluating, your compression versus your tension. So
Right.
anyways.
Most labs love it because it's fairly easy to set up.
Right.
It's easy to make the cylinders. It's fairly quick,
Right.
as opposed to, say, the flex test, which is
Not a fan.
not a fan. So
So
a lot of labs like it for that reason. So in summary, I think if we're going to run it's a very good test A to B. If you're testing regular mix and an add mix, it gives you some relative understanding of tensile strength. Other than that, unless you're moving churches, it's not a test
overly relevant.
Not a test I would recommend.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much for joining. Hope you learned something today. Go ahead, like, subscribe, ding that bell. Go concrete!
Beat asphalt.